And I think his ploy to get Biden as his running mate, he's trying to get more votes from people who don't support him. Similarly with the getting Paris Hilton to do a commercial for him. I don't like that. I think that's kind of bullshit. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about his entire policy and everything. I am impressed with his foreign policy of trying to do global talks with North Korea, Iran, stuff like that. Just saying, hey, how are you doing today, type thing.
The funny part about that is that he got a lot of crap for saying that. And he basically reneged it, but I still think that it's in the back of his mind.
I really think that is a great idea. I am going to be completely honest.
Yeah, it is.
That is a
What's wrong with
wonderful
talking?
idea. Nothing wrong with talking with somebody.
You gotta have some kind of talk between everybody.
Yeah,
That's why North Korea and South Korea still don't have a, also are in right now, there's still a ceasefire. There's still no treaty between North and South Korea because they don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
They don't talk.
You can't have a resolution.
Ceasefire for years.
You can't have a resolution without talking.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter is the big example of that. I mean, brought Israel and Pakistan together.
Yeah. Not for long.
Yeah, well, to talk it out for a little bit.
But anyways, I think McCain, for me, is the right choice because, first of all, I'm pro-life. Period. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I like...
And that's the end of that.
Yeah, well, no, I like Palin because she's got 5 kids. She's pro-life. She won't take shit from nobody. Look at her. She's only been in office for, what, like 3 years, something like that?
2 years.
2 years. 2 years. In that time, she sold the governor's jet because it was a waste of money. She fired the governor's chef because she can make her own sandwiches because it's a waste of money. She has asked to reopen the Alaskan pipeline to, like Obama, try and wean us off of foreign oil. I don't think we'll be off of foreign oil in 10 years, but it'll be shortly thereafter if we can get our way with it. Oil is obviously an unreplaceable, non-replenishable resource that we have to
It is, but it's just not in the time frame that we need it by.
Yeah. I don't know, I think, I'm going to contradict what you said, Eric. I think that America's more ready for a woman president than a black president. I just have this feeling. I don't know why. I just have, it's a gut instinct that I have.
Make a point right now, history repeats itself.
I agree. I just have this gut instinct that America's more ready for a woman president than a black president.
Not that president.
No. Not either of those presidents.
That's why Hillary would have been the best woman candidate in the United States, and obviously she was not chosen. So, I don't know, John. I'm making a lot of sense here.
Again, I'm going to agree with you. John McCain's probably not going to be around for too much longer. He's 72, is that right?
Man, he's a scrapper. He's a scrapper, though. I know he was in the forces. I know that he
was in Vietnam.
POW.
He fought for our country, and
I respect McCain for that.
He was hardcore torture.
He keeps going, man.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he's going to make a good president.
I think he'd make a pretty good president. But
I think he'd make a good one, but I don't think he'd be the best choice.
he just won't. He's the lesser of two evils, which he.
Maybe I'll know more about this, but there's a possibility of Kay Bailey Hutchison being chosen for
No, she already said that she wasn't going.
Okay.
No. Anyways, we could.
So back to the presidential race here.
I could go on and on about that all night.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
I think that John McCain is old school, and it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Yeah, John McCain's been through a lot of political problems that we've had in the past, and he's seen a lot of things that haven't worked. And I think he's going to keep trying the same old things that haven't worked.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that he's not ready for the change like Obama is.
Also with Palin, she's closer to Russia than she is Canada, so she's got a lot of foreign shit going on up there with the Russians trying to go over illegally. And,
We all know that ties with Russia never last.
yeah.
Period.
So, I mean, we thought we were good with them
Well, what I'm saying,
after World War II.
what I'm saying
we
is
weren't.
she's got to deal with all the Russians that come over to the United States.
I guess she kind of
illegally.
understands it in a way.
Yeah, she has more experience with people, with refugees than McCain.
To be honest with you, I don't see Russia as a a huge
Right?
threat, of course,
Immigrant threat.
but ally in a sense.
Ally.
In
No,
a sense
no,
that
no,
well,
not really,
no.
no.
If we were to win them over and everything, what is Russia really going to do for us in the United States? Provide us with some natural gas, maybe?
They got a
Vodka.
shitload of nuclear weapons.
And vodka. Well, that's the point, though. The point is that they're a threat more than they are an ally. Now, if we're able to get people in our countries in the Middle East to start seeing it our way, number one, we can stop fighting this expensive war that we're fighting.
Or at least see it a common way.
More than one country.
Second of all, oil would go down to about $60 a barrel.
Oil would be a lot cheaper, which would make our lives as American citizens a lot easier.
Although oil dropped $4 the other day.
Oil is down to $105 a barrel
Wow,
right
we, need
now.
to make, we somehow need to make the dollar stronger.
that's difficult.
That's going to be really hard to do and take a long time to do.
Yeah, we need, now, it's probably not going to be done within the first 4 years, or the next 4 years, so I'm not going to presume that.
Why don't we just
we're going to get
nuke
re-election.
every other country on the face of the planet, take out all of their monetary systems,
Have you ever watched
Enforce-
Battlestar Galactica?
right, and force the U.S. dollar as the
Before we get
only-
all scientific,
I'm just kidding.
sci-fi
Just
shit,
kidding.
You ever watch Battlestar Galactica?
before we get all sci-fi shit, you guys got to realize that the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind is taking place right now. In the 90s, we had it all. Okay? We had it all, period. We were the powerhouse.
You were the shit.
In the 80s, it was the Japanese. They had a lot of the wealth in the world.
Now it's
And now it's
transferring
transferring
back
back towards the Middle East. India. Okay?
1/6
Saudi Arabia.
1/6 of the world's population is in India.
Saudi Arabia, China. Now here's the thing about China.
Ooh.
Like all Chinese products, it won't last.
Learn Chinese pretty damn quick though.
Great wealth in China will not last. Their political system's not in place. Their economic system's not in place.
Just collapse.
So here's the deal. The
Well,
way that we
aside
make the dollar stronger, which I was getting to, the way that we make the dollar stronger is bring the wealth back to the United States. And the way that we do that is innovation. We have to innovate like we always have. New technologies, new businesses, new services, because right now the United States leads the world in service industries. Mainly financial services. Not so much products, which means like, accounting, hedge funds and shit like that. More services, consultants, investors and things like that. That's what we bring to the table. We need something more concrete.
Tangible.
Yes, we need something more concrete than that. We've gotten away from our roots where, we grew up
The manufacturer.
manufacturing, exactly, a manufacturing country. And without something more tangible like that, it can go by the wayside, just like all of our telemarketing jobs have.
Although I want to say something on a side note with respect to China and its economy, that they thought with the Olympics coming to Beijing that was going to stimulate the economy, but in turn they lost $30 million over the course of the 2 weeks or the 2.5 weeks that they.
Comparatively speaking, that's not a whole lot for an entire
But
country.
still, that
For a whole
is a
country,
negative-
$30 million.
it was. If you look at the economy of the previous.
They're still in the red.
Yeah, it's still in the red. But you look at Athens, Sydney, Atlanta. Fuck if I remember where it was in '92. You look at the previous cities where the Olympics have been. They have always produced an economic gain. Beijing was the first one to produce an economic loss.
And a lot of the reason behind that was because they shut down a lot of businesses
Yeah,
so
that's
that
true,
the
yeah.
pollution wasn't so bad that it
Yeah.
choked the athletes.